Very lucky to have on the line Schmier from Panzer. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me today.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Tell me about the formation of this band. Tell me as much as you can. I'm keen to know all about it.
Yeah, it's kind of, sometimes it's the spontaneous shit that is the good stuff. So we've been knowing each other for a long time, and we never had the opportunity to play together. And when they called me up with the crazy idea to form a band, I was like a little surprised and a little excited, and it sounded like a great challenge. So we didn't waste too much time. We met up right away, and we talked about it, and we came to the conclusion that we need an album first if you want to do something, because you cannot just play cover versions of our main bands. That would be like a little boring. So yeah, we kind of sat down right away and wrote some songs and talked about directions, and basically within a couple of months we already had half of the album written and recorded. In between the tours, we all been busy, but we all home for a couple of weeks here and there, and then we kind of had the album within a couple of weeks, like half done, and we were like, wow, it's going good. So it's been a right fit right away. It's worked really good from point one.
Do you live close to each other?
I do with the drummer. Like Stefan, he lives in Basel. It's like the Swiss side of Germany here. Like I live directly at the border. But Herman actually lives at the end of the world for us, at the other side of Germany in Hanover. So we've been going a little bit far. I've been traveling to Hanover a couple of times, and Herman came down a couple of times. We've been recording the album in Switzerland. That's like close to me and to Stefan again.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of traveling involved, but okay. Also nowadays, you can also exchange material over the internet, and that makes stuff, of course, easier.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was.
Been like jamming. Like the whole material is like a mixture of some jams and some home writing stuff and some writing in the studio. So we've been going all the way.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to touch on, was the distance a problem, but it sounds like you had it worked out.
Yeah, it's not a problem if we're all professional musicians. We've been working like this before, and it's a different way, of course, of writing. But as we did all kinds of writing, like physically there, and also over the internet, and also at the studio, and some stuff spontaneously in the rehearsal room. It's been all kinds of different stuff. So and everything worked out. And of course, if you're far away from each other, sometimes you have to make new experiences and try new stuff. But it all worked really well.
Excellent. Now, who did the bulk of the songwriting? Was it shared around? Was it you? Was it Herman?
I mean, I think Herman wrote like percentage-wise most of the riffs and stuff and the ideas. Like I did like 2 songs myself, just me, and Herman did like I think 4 himself or so.
Okay.
And some stuff we wrote together, 2 of them I think. I don't know. It's been Herman as the guitar player, of course, came up with most of the riffs and most of the ideas.
Yeah.
So I've been doing all the hook lines. We did some stuff together, and some stuff I did myself. So it's been a good cooperation, but also it's good to have something like Herman in the band that is like a heavy metal riff machine. He's he can. You put a coin into him, and he starts to play heavy metal riff, from scratch. It's amazing to have a guitar player that has it so much in his blood as him. So it made it really, of course, a lot easier to write great material.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many great songs on the album, and the riffs, they're just insane. And you're saying you just came up with them so easily.
Yeah, we wanted to make this a little bit more, heavy and crazy than what people would expect, because I guess most people would expect a straight heavy metal album, and we wanted to make a heavy metal album that has some surprises and also some speed moments. And I don't know if Herman ever played on such a heavy album, because it's a great mix of both bands, and it has a lot of melodies and great leads and harmonies, but also has a lot of speed and really heavy moments. So I think the mix is actually excellent. And when Herman sent me the riffs, I've been listening to them and said, yeah, that's perfect for Panzer. So I was just surprised about how fast he could write all those songs. And when I sent him my songs, he was like, oh man, this is different, but it sounds great too. So we've been exchanging ideas and liking what we heard. And we were just a little worried at the beginning that the mix would be a little too crazy, that there wouldn't be a bridge between the thrash and the heavy metal. But actually, it melted into each other after a while.
Mm. I'm keen to know your favorite track on this album.
It's difficult because I think there's a lot of really good songs on the record, but if I have to choose one, it has to be Death Knell, the first one.
Good choice.
Because it has this this thrashy Judas Priest kind of vibe.
It just kicks you in the face straight away, doesn't it?
Exactly. That's the way I like it.
When's that album coming out?
It's coming out in at least in Europe on the 28th of this month of November, and I guess Australia should be just about that time too, maybe beginning of December. Usually it takes some days.
Yeah.
The 28th of November here in Europe. That means some days later, I guess, in Australia.
Yeah. Okay.
And
now,
I know in Japan and also the United States is coming 2 weeks later, so it must be about the same in Australia.
Now, have you played live yet?
No, we didn't play live yet. We're playing live with our main bands all the time, so we had no time yet. So, we're going to play live in the future for sure. We're already confirmed some first festivals for summer next year, and we're going to also try to do a tour next year. So, first of all, we let the album come out and see how people react, and hopefully there's going to be a good reaction on the record, and if there's a demand, then there's going to be a lot of live shows. I mean, I'm in the lucky position with Destruction that I can plan for the whole next year already now. So we're going to keep some space for Panzer for touring for sure.
Yeah, of course. This is one of my questions about the formation of the band in the first place. I mean, weren't you busy enough?
Yeah, we're busy enough, but then sometimes you sit home for some weeks and you get a little bored, I mean, we're doing this for so long that being on the road and riding and stuff is kind of in your blood. And once you're home for too long, I'm always getting nervous, and sometimes there's nothing to do. I mean, with Destruction, we always play. Even if it's not a busy month, we still play at least some shows to keep up and to stay in shape. But still, in between those days, I always have time. And songwriting is a thing you can do at home easily. You sit home, you sit down, you start to write some riffs, record some ideas, and it works best home. So when I'm home, I'm always ready to write something. So. Yeah, I mean, some people were like, "Yeah, why do you do this? Why don't you have a busy schedule?" Yes, I do have a schedule that's busy, but I love to play this music, and of course, it was a very exciting idea to do this band with two veterans of the scene that are in the scene as long as I, or even longer as Herman goes,
Now, Herman and Stefan are busy at the moment. They're just about to land here in Australia, and I'll be seeing them in a couple of nights. But are you busy with your band at the moment, or are you doing the whole promo thing like you are right now for Panzer?
Actually, we just canceled our tour in Spain because of some money issues with the promoter. So that's why I'm doing some of the interviews now at the moment. But we're going to Brazil in a good week with Destruction, playing 12 shows in Brazil. So I'm also busy. So we're trying to play the ball, whoever has time for the interviews is doing them. And it was a little difficult for the guys now because they were traveling. So I'm doing a part of the interviews at the moment. I know they're going to do some interviews when they're in Australia as well.
Yeah. Okay. Now, with a tour that you plan to do you think it'll be like a headline tour, or are you planning to go out in support?
I think the headline tour is a little early. I would
Yeah.
I would prefer to do like a support tour for somebody. But
Yeah.
you never know. I mean, if the album would be super successful, we could also do maybe some headlining shows. But I would prefer for the first year, for the first album, to go the normal way and support somebody.
Yeah.
And we all know how the scene works. We're in the scene for a long time, and we don't expect this to go through the roof right away. This is going to be
Yeah.
a hardworking band that has released some albums, has to gain reputation, and I think the material is strong enough. So I'm very positive, but it's not going to happen overnight.
Mm. So there will be another album down the track?
Of course, yeah, we signed like not just a one album deal, we signed a multi-album deal. So we're
Oh,
gonna definitely go back in the studio at some point in end of 2015 or beginning of 2016, I'm sure.
excellent. Excellent. I just can't wait for this album to come out here and see the response to it.
Yeah, glad you like it. I mean, we have a good response for the record so far, but I'm still in the middle of the promotion, so I'm just getting feedback right now from the press people, and it's great to hear that people like the record because it's something new. You never know how it gets received, and so far people seem to like it. I think if you're like a real metalhead, it's a great album. If
Yeah.
you're the 80s metal and we're playing a little bit with the cliches, of course. I think I had the best review, the best compliment I heard lately was like the one guy wrote something like when after this album you have to go back into your living room and put the 80s records, because it turns you on so hard that you want to listen to your old favorites again.
Well, I didn't do that. When I finished listening to this album, I put it on again.
Okay, that's also a good thing.
Excellent. Right. I wish you really well. If everyone reacts the way I did, you're on to a sure winner. I can assure you of that.
All right, Mel, that's great to hear. That's great to hear.
Fantastic to talk to you. Wish you all the very best with the album and good luck with everything to do with Panzer and Destruction.
Thank you for your support, Mel. I appreciate that.